really running business recovery service, maybe it's a consulting service initially that could turn into something broader than that. But teaching companies how to wire the business process to be able to quickly identify a recovery, a recovery need. And again, you'd have to say, well, why would you do that, Jim? Why is it that important? The customers that you will be doing business with, I would argue that it is critical, the speed of identifying the issue and the speed to start implementing the business recovery is super critical. We lost hours debating early on, like, is this really impacting the business? And then it might be a holiday. This stuff always happens like on Christmas Eve, when you got most of your team is not your IT team, but most of your business partners, they're on holiday or Chinese holiday, and you can't get a hold of them. And you're seeing something happen in the systems, like the monitoring is showing you some issues, but you have nobody to talk to. By the time they implement a recovery, it could have a massive impact on the business. So, for you guys to really step into that space would be really a significant move, I think, of, you guys. It's like, you know what you're talking about. you know from a business president, you got a good handle on this whole business process. You got business process owners. You're actually investing in business owners, not just technology. It's not just a tech firm, but you're going deeper. Now, you could initially do that with some partners, that I mentioned, that are equipped to do the advising, like Accenture. They're very good at advising. But, that just should be on the radar screen, at least a very strategic conversation at the most senior level at Iron Mountain about, hey guys, I think we can really expand our services.
And that's great. And that actually leads me to my next question. So in the interest of time, I have kind of two more little things I want to talk about. One is, so we've been exploring some other concepts for kind of how we describe data. So when you think of the term digital assets, what does it mean to you? And how do you distinguish it from data? And does that relate to your roles and responsibility?
I'm wondering if I talked a digital asset to the business, do they think that the data is a true asset? And would they also think the software itself is a digital asset, and the hardware is a digital asset, and the people could be considered digital assets? I would stick with data, because that's what you're doing. You're protecting the assets, whether it's a digital asset or a truck of inventory or a truck of very expensive, high-performing razors. You're protecting those assets. And, now I know from a cybersecurity, they talked about the digital assets, like a person's PII data or the customer data. That is an asset. Yes. Yeah. But the common thread, your value proposition is around protecting the data.
And then what about digital content?
No, I mean, in the dialogue with the CIO, it's you could use the term, because they know digital content could be media, it could be transactional data, it could be other kinds of unstructured data, but it's data.
but you say data is still the language that you use.